Hey, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of Sroth Consultech, running this organization for last 5 years, helping small and medium businesses to grow. In this initiative called as Hatke, we're looking at talking to various business owners running institutions, various setups, corporations, and their own businesses in a different way. They are looking at the situation in a different way. The current situation is so-called constrained or challenged, as people say, but we are going to have this to really being looked at in a different way. So we have Rupashri Sable today. She's running her own, she's pursuing her own passion, had been part of IT for a while, and we would hear from her about her passion, what she is doing, and how she is looking at this current situation. Rupashri.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rupashri Sabre. As Shirish said, I've been into the IT industry for 12 years. It took me that long to discover that my true passion lies in children's education. So for the last 11 plus years now, I'm into that field. I run my own preschool and daycare and some other extracurricular activities under the same roof, which are innovative 21st century learning skills building programs. So about the current situation, I think we are at a stage where that acceptance is coming in now. Okay. The initial, I think we went through phases. There was a phase of ecstasy where people thought, wow, holiday. Okay. And then there was a phase of chaos and fear where, oh my God, what's going to happen now? And I think now we have come to a stage of acceptance. And I think that's a good stage to be in, because from here now progress will happen. So I think personally, home front wise, organization wise, everybody has pretty much gone through the same phases. So yeah, so we are doing the best we can now and making the most out of the situation right now.
Right. And talking about the specific initiative that you have about education, it's very important to have kids in front of you. But now, how are you managing it without them in front of you?
Yeah. So the last few weeks, when the lockdown started, of course, the school was yet to end. So we, however, I mean, after a week, we realized that this is not going to end that soon. So immediately we've started making efforts to connect to our parents using different ways in a communication age. We are living in communication age, and we cannot complain that we cannot communicate just because we are not physically present for each other.
Right.
There are always alternatives. So we immediately made WhatsApp groups of our parents. We started sending daily activities to children and parents through WhatsApp, guidelines on how to handle your children, articles and videos about how to deal with this situation. So we made a connect in that way in terms of parent counseling also, and in terms of giving things to do, good things to do with children in order to spend quality time with them. And once the school part ended, we realized that this is still not live. This is still not where children are getting to interact with each other, and we could see that they are missing their friends.
Right.
Because we got feedbacks from parents that they are waiting for such and such child's video because she used to be her best friend.
Okay.
Or he is waiting for his particular video to see him. So we started this idea of live online classes.
Okay.
So we've launched summer camps now for various age groups, right from 2 years up to 10 to 15 years of age of children. And as I'm going through it, I have realized two things. One is children are very resilient. They have taken up to the situation, they have accepted the situation and are making the most out of it in a much, much more mature manner than we adults are doing probably.
Oh.
And they are really looking forward to, thankfully they are a generation born in the age of technology. So they're taking to it like fish to water, and they've got comfortable with it right away. And as far as the live interaction is going, they are enjoying it. Of course, it cannot replace
the physical
a hug or holding a hand or just that eye contact, which conveys a lot more. But they are enjoying this, being in touch with a teacher, with their friends, getting appreciated for their work by somebody else apart from their mom and dad. So it's I think it's a need, and I see a lot of people are doing it. A lot of educationists have taken it up. They are doing it, and I'm very happy about it.
Good, good. And how do you see the digital part of it? Like some of the business process that you had was digital. There's some
Yeah.
technology tool that you adopted earlier. Do you think
Yes.
that is giving you returns right now, or?
Uh, I think we'll need to now take it to the next level.
Yes.
Uh, because
Okay.
now to give a simple example, usually at the end of March admissions happen for the next year. I mean, this is a peak period, the readmissions, etc. And now because we couldn't connect with parents, we had to create a digital avenue for parents to digitally do the admission, pay the fees,
Right.
and everything else.
Yeah.
And now we've realized that if this goes on as it's predicted in quite a few reports, if schools do not open till the end of September, we'll probably have to conduct the entire class online.
Wow.
For the next 2 to 3 months, which means we'll need tools to support that. So we started working. I've personally started exploring a lot of tools on how I can create digital smart board based worksheets, which can be solved on a mobile, or things like, our rhymes. I'm working on converting our rhymes, etc. Because we're into preschool. All these things are the learning mediums. Challenge is, especially in early childhood, we say that sensory education is the most important. I mean, that's the way young children learn.
Yeah.
And there will be all said and done limitations to that in a digital environment.
Right.
The manipulatives, the touch and feel things that we use. But we're working on finding alternatives for them. There will be home-based toys now to replace the educational toys that we have. But yes, technology will have to be used to a much bigger
larger
extent.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think and where do you see you have always been innovating different modules, different portions, and your education, the curriculum that you have is completely innovative. So where do you see that investment that you have done in that intellect reflecting back now as a IP to you?
I think because there was a very well planned curriculum, and to some extent, because I was from a technology background, to some extent I've always used technology aids, although at a very, very minuscule level. But simple things like creating PPTs of the learning material that we are showing children. We did use the physical copies of it as well, but it was always created in a digital format. So it helps now, when now it's very easy even to show it to the children on the screen. Now the teachers don't have to feel, oh, but I don't have my teaching aids now, how do I teach? Because your teaching aids are still there. They are in a digital format now.
Right.
Okay, so the curriculum being very well planned, I think, is one very important step in order to, there has to be a structure. If you want to digitalize anything, there has to be a structure.
Right.
And the structure being in place, I think, is really helping to even think about going digital.
Right. And how do you see yourself scaling? Earlier approach was physical scaling, maybe a franchisee model or something. How do you see digitally? Will it help you faster, or do you look at it?
I'm already seeing some benefits of it, in the sense, like, for example, the summer camps that I'm doing now. It's at a very small scale, but I'm seeing that there is no limit. Now, for example, I had children joining from Nagpur. I had children joining from UK, UAE.
Wow.
I have inquiries from Australia for children who want to join the summer camps.
Yeah,
so, the school is already global then.
Super.
So I think that's one very big advantage of digital, is that there's no limit. Right. There's no limit to the reach out, because it's just as good for a child sitting in Pune as it is for a child sitting, let's say, in Delhi or Nagpur or Australia, for that matter. But yes, in early childhood, I would say sensory is still very important. And that is the one part that will still be missing, for which physical presence in a premises and that will be required. Or wonderful. At least parent support will be required then.
Superb. And as we come to the end, what is your kind of message to people who are looking up, people who want to see some role model or something that they are trying to derive as a message you can give, Rupashi?
I think this is a
True.
personally what I've been following. I think I can only say the same thing as a message is that life will keep throwing situations at us. This is one tough situation that has been thrown at us. And there's no point crying. There's no point cribbing about it.
Right.
The right approach is to just see what best can be done. You may not be able to do what you had originally planned, but then I think the people who move ahead are always people who are open to changing their plans all the time, right? With the changing times. And like they say, tough times do not last, but tough people do. So it's time to get tough and
Wonderful.
Time to be open. And one very good thing I've observed out of this whole exercise is that, a few of my teachers who were very reluctant to learn new technologies or do anything to do with technologies have become very open-minded.
Superb.
They have quickly learned things which I couldn't get to achieve with them for the last few years. I have managed to achieve that in 15 days.
So basically, the natural force has worked for them to be,
just like I guess demonetization forced people to go digital in terms of money.
Right.
Maybe this will expedite the digital transformation process.
Wonderful. So nice views, Rupashri. Thanks for joining and sharing about this completely different kind of a vertical. It was
Thank
wonderful
you so much,
to have you. Right?
It's my pleasure entirely.
And we all wish luck for your ventures and digitization and becoming global in digital as well as global in physical sense.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
a lot.
Thank you.